Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into something pretty fascinating, this recent flurry of reports around Reese Witherspoon and her boyfriend, Oliver Haarmann. Now, you've undoubtedly seen the headlines, probably the paparazzi photos too, but our mission for you today is really to cut through that surface-level buzz. We've got these fresh articles right here from TMZ and People they just dropped, and we're here to basically extract the most interesting, maybe surprising, and, relevant bits of knowledge about this relationship based purely on what these sources are telling us right now. So yeah, let's unpack this. Okay, so right off the bat, our sources, they just whisk us away to this, well, truly idyllic setting. They paint a really vivid picture Reese and Oliver spotted this past Sunday, July 13th, on a luxury yacht soaking up the sun, French Riviera. Saint-Tropez specifically. I mean, it sounds like something straight out of a movie, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Yeah, and what's really striking from both articles, People and TMZ, is how they don't just say, "Oh, they were spotted."
Yeah.
They really hammer home this was a romantic yacht getaway and that the couple was, quote, packing on the PDA. So it wasn't just like a casual trip. The whole vibe described is very much, well, overt affection, uninhibited.
Yeah, and when we say packing on the PDA, I mean, these reports go into some pretty remarkable detail. The TMZ source especially, they don't pull any punches, describing them smooching like there's no tomorrow and locking lips and getting handsy on the stern of the boat. It really suggests they weren't, well, shy about their connection at all.
You're right, not in the least bit shy. And TMZ goes on, right? They recount them kissing, hugging, laughing, embracing, just sitting there with their feet dangling in the water. Simple stuff, but affectionate. Then they even took it onto a sea scooter, apparently, where the source says they paused only to float and make out next to a rock formation. So what really stands out is just the consistency and maybe the intensity of these public displays.
And TMZ, well, you know TMZ, they highlighted this one particularly intimate detail that definitely got people talking. Quote, Oliver made sure to shower off Reese, getting up close and personal as he winced off her butt. I mean, that speaks to an incredible level of comfort, right? And closeness. And it didn't stop there. The affection apparently continued on the top deck. Reese sitting on Oliver's lap, turning, kissing him holding her tight. TMZ kind of sums it all up, saying they looked totally smitten. And, for a celebrity like Reese, who's often quite guarded about her private life, this kind of open display is pretty noteworthy.
Definitely.
So seeing this level of, well, very overt affection in Saint-Tropez just this past weekend, it naturally makes you curious about the man by her side. Who exactly is Oliver Haarmann? And how long has this seemingly intense connection been building, according to these reports?
Okay, so Oliver's identified as a German financier. And what's interesting here is that the People source gives us some really specific professional details. He's a minority co-owner of the NHL team, the New York Islanders, and also a founding partner of Searchlight Capital. So this background, it offers a pretty stark contrast to the usual Hollywood circles Reese moves in, which, as we'll probably get into, seems to be part of the attraction for her based on the sources. It positions him as someone substantial, influential, but in a totally different world,
Right, different sphere entirely. And the timeline of their relationship. These reports give us some pointers there, too. TMZ says they were first linked last July, implying July 2024, right?
Yeah.
And that they've been together for about a year now.
That lines up perfectly with what the People article says. They were first seen spending time together, New York City, July 2024. And then multiple sources apparently confirmed they were officially dating by September 2024. And just for context, People also notes their ages. Reese is 49, Oliver is 57. So, while this yacht trip is this July, the reports make it clear their connection's been developing for, well, a full year.
Okay, gotcha. So beyond the sun-drenched yacht and the dates, what did the People sources tell us about the sort of underlying nature of their relationship? And maybe Reese's priorities early on, especially given her profile.
Well, back in July 2024, right when they were first linked, a source told People that Witherspoon was, quote, taking things slow when it comes to dating, and emphasizing that her priorities were her work and her son. So that suggests a very cautious, measured approach to starting something new, which maybe isn't surprising.
Makes sense. And how about the more recent dynamics then, according to these reports?
Yeah.
Has that initial caution sort of shifted as things progressed over the year?
It seems so, yeah. An October 2024 source, so a few months later, told People that Witherspoon was having fun with Oliver and that she often flies between Nashville and New York City to see him. But here's really significant detail from that same source. It says he's spending time with her kids, too. Specifically mentioning her sons, Deacon Philip, who's 21 now, wow, and Tennessee James Toth, who's 12, though The source did say they weren't sure if he'd met her daughter, Ava Phillip, at that point. But, meeting the kids, that's always a pretty
Right.
big step. Signals things are getting more serious.
It certainly is definitely a big step. And there's this key motivation for Reese, right? Explicitly revealed by a source in the People article. It really
Mhm.
stands out, I think, as maybe a core insight into what she values now.
Yeah, this is where it gets really, really telling, I think. The source's direct quote, according to People, is Reese loves that he's a businessman and not into Hollywood.
Hmm.
I mean, that's quite a powerful statement, isn't it? It suggests a very deliberate choice, a preference for a life and a partner outside the often intense spotlight of the entertainment industry.
Yeah, that really jumps out. And speaking of spotlights, though, despite this, blossoming romance, Reese Witherspoon's professional life, it seems, remains incredibly busy. The sources touch on this too, briefly.
That's right, yeah. They mentioned she appeared in that 2025 movie, You're Cordially Invited. And she's got major stuff coming up, like season 4 of The Morning Show on Apple TV, plus PM Plus. Legally Blonde 3 is apparently still in pre-production, so she's clearly juggling a very demanding career alongside her personal life.
Wow. Okay, so that was quite the deep dive into these recent reports on Reese Witherspoon and Oliver Haarmann. We've definitely gone, I think, far beyond just, celeb spotted on yacht from Saint-Tropez. By pulling together the specific details, the very public romance, Oliver's background, the timeline, Reese's priorities, that key quote, we've hopefully painted a much fuller, more nuanced picture for you of their connection, based on what these sources are saying right now.
Exactly. And maybe just connecting this to the bigger picture, given how much the source material really emphasizes Oliver Haarmann being a businessman and not into Hollywood, it kind of raises an interesting question, maybe for you, the listener, to think about what might this specific preference wanting someone outside the industry reveal about maybe the changing desires or perhaps the unique challenges for celebrities trying to navigate high-profile relationships today. Why might that outsider status appeal so strongly? Just something to ponder until next time.